This is Bob Anderson. I'm on attempt number 3 to do this video because attempt 1, I realized my charts I didn't blow them up enough so you can see what I was talking about. And then attempt 2, I got 3/4 of the way through it and my neighbor's landscaper showed up. This is September 29th. It's about 12 o'clock. I want to go over the trades that I thought were valid today based off of my continuation trade, because remember, my continuation trade is the trade that got me through the evaluation with Apex. And then I'm going to show you valid and invalid entries on the 5-minute chart. I think it's just as important that you see invalid entries as you see valid entries, so you can start seeing the difference in price action that will keep you out of, that will statistically hopefully improve your likelihood that you pick winning trades. And remember, even completely valid ones don't necessarily work for various reasons. But anyways, so, one more quick thing. Deal. I think I told you on September 27th at 4:56 p.m., I asked them to transfer my money from Deal to my corporate account. My money actually showed up on the 28th. Holy cow. That was amazing. To me, that's amazing. Holy cow. So anyways, let's go over the trades. I got to get my screens to come up because they were dormant. There we go. All right, so let's go over the 1-minute chart continuation trades. One I took, one I didn't because I was too busy freaking answering my phone. And then which ones I don't see as valid. Okay, that's the most important. That's the one we're going to go over right now. And by the way, I only had 2 all day. 2 continuation trades that I actually set up from, 9:30 to freaking 10:30. And by the way, none of the ones in the morning were valid because they were rotations back to the long side, the ones that did set up, but we were on the short side of the 5-minute chart. Remember, the red line on the 5-minute chart dictates if I'm going long or short. And so if I'm below it, I'm only looking for shorts. Doesn't matter if a long sets up and works. I'm only looking for shorts. If I'm on the top side of the 5-minute, then I'm looking for longs. Anyways, so that's step 1 in the rules. So let's go over the trades. Everybody like the white? Eee, that's my new, I changed this chart to white. I used to use white charts back in the day. But anyways, let's go back over here to the trade I did take. I'm going to show you in big first. This is 9:30. This is the 9:30 open. We blew down, blew down, blew down. Notice we never had a pullback to the gold line. Now, this is where it gets very important that this is a valid trade or not. We were going to go over this about 3 times today. Okay, this exact thing. And you'll see why. And by the way, if you recognize all 3, when I show them to you, because 2 are going to be on the 5-minute chart and 1 of them is right here, this will, and they truly determine if it's valid or not valid. And the 2 that are not valid on the 5 minutes would have saved you a bunch of money. So here we go. Let me blow these up. Remember, we had this come down, come down, come down. This created a new pivot low. Doesn't have to be an overnight low, just a pivot low. And then it started rotating back to your gold line. So here's your bottom of this candle that was formed. And then we were rotating up. So here's the bottom of this candle that was formed. Notice this, the bottom of this candle is higher than the bottom of this candle. That's good news. Then this one's rotating up. The bottom of this candle. The color of the candle is not relevant. What's relevant is the candle itself. Bottom of this candle is higher than the bottom of this candle. Good news. Everything's good. As long as we keep that pattern going and get to here, we have a valid trade. Uh-oh. This candle broke the bottom of this candle here. Now the only way you're going to have a valid trade is if this pivot to a new pivot low. And by golly, it did by 1 tick. If this does not pivot down to create a new low from this, it's not a valid trade anymore. We will see a couple examples of those on the 5-minute chart here soon. So you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So now this is your new pivot low right here. So this is your new start candle back to your gold line. Okay, now this one's higher than this one. Bottom of this one is higher than the bottom of this one. That's good. Bottom of this one is higher than the bottom of this one. That's good. Bottom of this one is higher than the bottom of this one. That's good. This is all good. This is good news. Here's the one that's kind of hard to see because it's just your little doji candle, but here's the bottom of this one is higher than the bottom of this one. Again, very good news. We've breached through the gold line, but our entry, which is hard to see because of the color of my red here. But anyways, my entry for a short, I know everybody's about to be very impressed. I took a short today. I know. The entry of your sell stop rotates up here, and then bam, when that candle closed right there, my entry, which at the time was below my gold line, very important, as you can see, because this bottom of this candle here is below that gold line. So my entry was 36.62 even. See that? 36.62 even. That thing slammed down, bam, 3.5 points, literally, in like 10 seconds. I.e., I was on the right side of the trade again. I saw a valid entry. I took it. It went 3.5 points. I was looking for 5. So my exit was right here. I was looking for 5 points, not 3.5. And it rotated up because I went 1.5 points in my favor. My stop went to break even. Well, apparently a lot of people were doing what I was doing because I got slippage on my stop and I hit 36.62 So I lost a tick. So 3 points worked, 5 points didn't. But hey, I still consider that a win because I was on the right side of the trade. I didn't take heat. If you can enter a trade and not take heat, you're on the right side of the trade. Now it's just a matter of managing it to get you your profit target. I can't stress that enough. That's how you stay in evaluations. That's how you ultimately get to your, say, on your $50,000 account, $3,000 over your 10, 15, 20 days, whatever number of days it takes for you to get that, right? By being on the right side of the trade, on the edge, and not taking heat. Anyways, so this rotated back up. So now you're looking for a break of the pivot, which this is the pivot over here to your right before another entry. If you are going to take one, remember, I don't like second trades. Okay, so this finally broke down over here, came back up, and then broke this candle here down. I didn't take this trade. Again, I don't like second trades. But it may have worked. I don't know. I don't know the sequence of this price action right here. I'm going to guess that it broke there. So you're in at 46. It went down to 43. Oh yeah, you would have been break even. You would have been out at break even. But I didn't take it. I've talked about that. I don't like second chances. I'm going to show you something about third chances. Are you ready for this? Here's the third chance, because you came down, finally got to your gold line. And then this one went up even further. So you're looking for a break of the pivot. Well, here, break of the candle. Here's your break of the candle at 36.35. Look at that. It went 2 ticks and slammed up. FOMA. Remember, fear of missing out. The people going short. They're looking for it. That third time. I can't tell you how many times on the third attempt in a continuation that they'll breach the candle by 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks and then slam it the opposite way and steal all your money. Seriously. So when can you look for another first touch? Well, you got to have a reset. What's a reset? Reset is price action up above your red line on your 1 minute. You're still below your 5 minute. Okay. So here's a rotation of a pivot, rotated down wait a second. Then it broke another pivot by 2 ticks right here. This became your new pivot to the left, because here's your low before creating a new high. This is very important. Here's your low before creating a new high. Okay, so this is your new pivot, not this. So when this broke, that pivot to the left, rolled down, and you're now in agreement with your 5-minute candle for shorts. You had your low, higher low, and bam, 5 points. And I mean, that just, I mean, it, I missed it. It was at 10:34 or so. Frustrating. But that's okay. There it was. If you recognize, here's important. Here's your new pivot, because this is your low leading to your new high. You broke that to your left, came down, went up into your gold line. Nice long finger like that. Man, usually the bigger that finger, the more the thrust. And so, bam, there it went. I mean, it literally went 5 points. Right to there. There's your 5 points right there, almost to the bottom of that candle. And look what happened after the 5 points. It went back up again. Seems like a lot of people had targeted that area. By the way, the top of this candle, because I watched this happen, this price action up here, this wouldn't have taken you out at even. This candle literally ran down, hit here, and ran back up. So you would have been out with your 5 points, then it ran up, and then it came back down again. Anyways, so those are your shorts. Only 2 of them all morning, because the pre-market stuff had only had some set up for the long, but you were on the wrong side of the 5-minute candle. So if you were trying to take multiple trades because you saw a pullback to the gold line, this, you were just over trading. You were praying for something that wasn't there. You might have gotten lucky once in a while, but I'm not looking for luck. Okay? I'm looking to pass an evaluation. Now, let's talk about something I want to show you. So this thing started rotating up. And then this price action right here is on the long side, finally, of your 5-minute candle, your 5-minute red line. This is, look what happened. Slammed up, hit a pivot high, rotated down a little bit, but then broke that candle back up and didn't create a new pivot high. See that? Came right back to the same spot, 36.64.75. What happened? Wham. That's not by mistake, folks. So recognizing these things like that, it doesn't even have to go to the pit. If it had gone even just to this high, it doesn't matter. It's a failure of the pullback. That's a sign that it's going the other way. Bam. All right, let's quickly go over the 5-minute chart. The 5-minute chart is going to show you even better what I'm talking about pivots and non-continuations of price action. All right, so here you are. Here's your 5-minute. All right, so this is 8:30. We had remember, I don't trade till sometime after 8:30. So 8:30 this is 8:30 here, and there was news. So obviously I'm not going to trade during any news. It had to do with unemployment data, This thing pulled back. See the bottom of this candle? See the bottom of that candle? See the bottom of that candle? See the bottom of that candle? Let me blow this up. Let me blow this up so you can see this stuff clear as day. The bottom of this candle is higher than the bottom of this candle. The bottom of this candle is higher than the bottom of this candle. The bottom of this candle is higher than the bottom of this candle. By the way, because you can't tell this, the bottom of this candle right here was higher than the bottom of this candle at the time it hit the gold line. And I had my entry right there at 36.89. And it touched me and didn't fill me, and then rotated down. About 9 points. 9 points. I was looking for 5 points. So I got touched, not filled, and then it rotated. I would have gotten filled all in this one candle, by the way. Because this thing, like I said, it rotated up. Then it broke and made this new candle low over here, up to the candle to the left. Okay? So sometimes you can't really look at this stuff, especially the 5-minute chart is hard because there's so much action going on in 5 minutes. So the candle pattern may not look good unless you actually see it formulate. All right, so let's go over here. Let's go over here. And let's look at an invalid short on the 5-minute. This is where things can get important, in my opinion. So we had a thrust down and we rotated. This candle low is higher than this candle low. This candle low right here is higher than this candle low right here. All of a sudden, whoa, this rotated down below this candle's low. Then it did it again. This one rotated below this candle's low. But neither one of these lows went lower than this one, than our pivot. Okay? So when this rotated back to your 5-minute line, that's not a trade. That's not a valid trade anymore. Because now you've created a new step. See your step, step, step. Now you're stepping long. Please, I hope you really see that, because that is extremely important. If you're going to step towards your gold line, you need to do it from a low, and you need to walk your way consistently to it. If you breach it somewhere in the process, then you need to create a new low before you walk back to it. Otherwise, the trade is not valid. While I was sitting here creating this video, it did it again. Watch this. Rotated up, created a new pivot high over here on the right. Look at this, okay? Broke down, new pivot low, pivoted back up. Never touched the gold line yet, pivoted back up, then rotated down. Look at that. Never worked. That's not magic. When you start recognizing things like that, that'll keep you out of the trades that don't work at a much higher likelihood than the ones that do work. You do not, this is from the top side, okay? So now your candle high needs to be lower than your candle high to your left. This one's higher than my candle to the left. But it didn't go higher than here. It didn't break the pivot. So when it rotated over, it was all over but the crying. That's price action, folks. That's price action. I hope that gives you some insight. Some of you may not realize, but when I was doing my updates, when my live account first started, there was several times I would come on and say, well, I only made $50, or I only made $10, or I had break even. Every day is not gold. Market's got to be in rhythm. It's got to be laying out the things I need to see for my trades to be valid. I'm looking for an evaluation. I'm looking to, my approach consistently over and over again does generate, $2,000 to $3,000 every couple weeks. Yesterday I made $325. I had, and all of them were off the overnight open. I had 2 trades that went in my favor at least 3 points. I was looking for 5, came back, knocked me out at even. I had one that ran right through me, took me out at, I lost $175. But the trade was still valid. So when it came back to my original entry, I was sitting there again to take that thing again, and it literally slammed and hit my 5 points. And so $325 because I was trading 2 contracts, which is $500 on 5 points. And that's it. If you really feel the need to trade, use sim mode. Screw around in sim mode. Wait till you see price action. Wait till you see the things line up for that are going to be valid for you. Make sure you're in the time frame that these trades work, or at least I deem them to work the most. And that's when you take your eval account, and that's where you try to make your $250, $300. That's all you need on a $50,000 account to get you through the evaluation. Anyways, slow and steady wins the race, and if you're not a professional trader, like I'm not, then it's just trading on that edge, keeping my stops small, and trying to make my targets big. Talk to you later, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.